Ryanggang Province, North Korea. 2:17 a.m. Darkness, silence. Then, suddenly, the night sky turned orange. A massive explosion, visible from space. North Korea's largest ammunition depot, 40,000 tons of artillery shells stored for Seoul bombardment, erupting in a fireball that lit up the entire province. North Korean command thought it was an accident, equipment failure, bad luck. Then, 31 hours later, it happened again. Another depot, 180 kilometers away. Same result, massive explosion. Secondary detonations for 6 hours, 35,000 tons of munitions destroyed. Then, 41 hours after that, a third depot exploded. Within 72 hours, 3 of North Korea's 5 strategic ammunition storage facilities had been obliterated. 40% of all artillery shells intended for war with South Korea gone. North Korea blamed sabotage, accused the CIA, accused South Korean intelligence. The United States said nothing. What happened in those 72 hours remains one of the most mysterious operations in modern intelligence history. But the message to Pyongyang was crystal clear. Your conventional deterrent just evaporated, and you never saw it coming. This is that story. The Korean Peninsula, March 2024. For months, U.S. and South Korean intelligence agencies had been monitoring a disturbing trend. North Korea was stockpiling artillery ammunition at 5 hardened facilities along the DMZ corridor. Satellite imagery showed constant truck traffic, rail deliveries, workers moving pallets of shells into underground bunkers. By early April, analysts calculated North Korea had amassed 260,000 tons of artillery ammunition, enough to sustain 45 days of continuous bombardment on Seoul. War game simulations showed catastrophic results. First 24 hours of conflict, 50,000 civilian casualties from artillery alone. South Korean defenses could intercept missiles, but not massed artillery fire from 8,000 tubes positioned along the DMZ. North Korea's conventional deterrent, the threat of turning Seoul into a sea of fire, wasn't propaganda anymore. It was operational reality. Intelligence assessments landed on desks in Washington and Seoul. Conclusion: North Korea's artillery stockpile had reached critical mass. Any military action against the regime would result in unacceptable civilian casualties in South Korea. Jong Un had successfully created a hostage situation. 25 million people in the Seoul metropolitan area held at gunpoint by 260,000 tons of high-explosive shells. Then, at 2:17 a.m. on April 18th, the strategic equation changed. Kangi Ammunition Storage Complex, Ryanggang Province, 120 kilometers from the Chinese border. North Korea's largest ammunition depot, 40,000 tons of 122mm and 152mm artillery shells stored in hardened underground bunkers, reinforced concrete, multiple security perimeters, air defense batteries. This facility alone held enough ammunition to bombard Seoul for 2 weeks straight. At 2:15 a.m., perimeter guards reported normal operations. Surveillance cameras showed empty corridors. Motion sensors detected nothing unusual. At 2:17 a.m., the facility exploded. U.S. infrared satellites detected the blast immediately. Thermal signature equivalent to 2 kilotons. Secondary explosions began instantly as shells cooked off in chain reactions. Fireball rose 400 meters into the night sky, visible from the International Space Station. Seismic stations in South Korea and China registered the explosion as a 3.2 magnitude earthquake. Shockwaves shattered windows in villages 15 kilometers away. The blast was so powerful, North Korean air defenses initially thought it was an airstrike and went to full alert. But radar showed no aircraft, no missiles detected, no breaches in perimeter security. By 3 a.m., the entire Kangai complex was an inferno. Underground bunkers collapsed, steel doors blown off hinges, 40,000 tons of ammunition, years of production, burning uncontrollably. North Korean emergency response teams arrived at 3:45 a.m. What they found was total devastation. Bunkers destroyed, storage facilities collapsed, the entire facility reduced to smoking craters. No survivors among the 60 personnel stationed there. Initial investigation found no evidence of external attack. No missile fragments, no bomb craters, no aircraft wreckage. Security cameras showed nothing before going offline at 2:17 a.m. North Korean investigators concluded equipment malfunction, electrical fire and munition storage. Tragic accident. Kim Jong Un was briefed at 6 a.m. He accepted the accident explanation, ordered tighter safety protocols at remaining facilities. Life continued. But 1,200 kilometers south, analysts at U.S. Indo-Pacific Command were watching very carefully. At 9:23 a.m. on April 19th, 31 hours after the Pyongyang explosion, the second facility detonated. Kusong Ammunition Depot, North Pyongyang Province, 180 kilometers southwest of Pyongyang. This facility held 35,000 tons of 240mm rocket ammunition and 170mm self-propelled gun shells. Located underground in abandoned mines, considered even more secure than Pyongyang. At 9:20 a.m., facility reported normal status to North Korean Army Command. Guards on routine patrol, all systems operational. At 9:23 a.m., the facility exploded. Blast visible from South Korean observation posts across the DMZ. Massive fireball erupting from mountainside. Secondary explosions continued for 6 hours as ammunition cooked off in underground chambers. Smoke plume rose to 3,000 meters, visible on weather radar. This time, Kim Jong Un was not accepting accident explanations. At 11 a.m., North Korean state security launched emergency investigation. Elite counterintelligence teams deployed to Kusong. Orders: find evidence of sabotage, find infiltrators, find whoever was responsible. Investigators worked for 40 hours straight. They examined every centimeter of the facility, interviewed survivors, reviewed security footage, analyzed debris. They found nothing. No evidence of explosives, no signs of forced entry, no unusual personnel movements. Security cameras showed normal operations until they went dark at 9:23 a.m., exactly when the explosion occurred. But the pattern was undeniable. 2 facilities, 2 massive explosions, 31 hours apart, 75,000 tons of ammunition destroyed. North Korean military command went to heightened alert. Remaining 3 ammunition depots received emergency security reinforcements. Guards doubled. 24-hour patrols, air defense systems activated. Orders to shoot first, ask questions later. Kim Jong Un addressed his Security Council. Someone was attacking North Korea's strategic ammunition stockpile. Find them, stop them, but it was already too late. At 2:35 a.m. on April 21st, 41 hours after the Kusong explosion, the third facility detonated. Sakchu Ammunition Storage Facility, North Pyongyang Province, 15 kilometers from Chinese border. This facility held 30,000 tons of 122mm Katyusha rockets and anti-aircraft ammunition, built into Granite Mountain, considered the most secure facility in North Korea's arsenal. Despite emergency security measures, despite doubled guards, despite 24-hour surveillance, at 2:35 a.m., Sakchu exploded. Blast so powerful it shook buildings in Chinese border towns. Beijing immediately contacted Pyongyang demanding explanation. North Korean officials had no answers. By 4 a.m., the facility was destroyed. 30,000 tons of ammunition gone. Another 45 personnel dead. 3 facilities, 72 hours, 105,000 tons of ammunition destroyed. 40% of North Korea's entire artillery ammunition stockpile eliminated. And North Korean investigators still had no idea how it happened. At 8 a.m. on April 21st, Kim Jong Un convened emergency meeting of North Korea's highest military and intelligence leadership. The message was clear. This was not accident. This was attack. Coordinated, precise, devastating. But who? And how? North Korean air defenses had detected 0 aircraft intrusions. Radar showed no cruise missiles. Satellite surveillance detected no commando insertions. Security at all 3 facilities reported no breaches before explosions. The facilities were hundreds of kilometers apart, different provinces, different security commands, yet all 3 exploded within 72 hours using the same pattern, normal operations until sudden, catastrophic detonation. North Korean state security presented 3 theories. Theory 1, U.S. Special Operations sabotage teams. Small units infiltrated months earlier, planted explosives, triggered remotely. Problem: no evidence of infiltration, no suspicious personnel, no foreign nationals detected anywhere near facilities. Theory 2, South Korean intelligence network. Sleeper agents activated, conducted coordinated sabotage. Problem: all 3 facilities employed only trusted North Korean personnel. Background checks showed no South Korean connections. Theory 3, internal dissidents. Military officers opposed to Kim regime conducted sabotage. Problem: surveillance showed no suspicious activity by facility personnel. Everyone who died in explosions was loyal party member. None of the theories fit the evidence, or rather, there was no evidence. Jong Un made a decision: publicly blame hostile forces for sabotage, but don't name specific country. Privately increase security at remaining 2 ammunition facilities to maximum levels. And wait. The wait lasted 3 days. No more explosions occurred. On April 25th, North Korean state media broke silence. Brief announcement: hostile forces conducted cowardly sabotage against peaceful military storage facilities. The perpetrators will face severe consequences. No details, no accusations, no evidence presented. The United States responded with silence. South Korea responded with silence. China, nervous about explosions near its border, called for investigation but said nothing more. The world moved on. North Korea's ammunition depot explosions became footnotes in news cycle, mysterious incidents with no clear answers, but the strategic implications were massive. Intelligence analysts worldwide studied the explosions for months. Open source investigation, satellite imagery analysis, signal intelligence. The conclusions were remarkable. Timeline precision: 3 explosions over exactly 72 hours, not random, planned sequence. Target selection: only ammunition depots destroyed. No attacks on nuclear facilities, missile bases, or command centers. Specific objective: eliminate conventional artillery threat. Operational security: 0 evidence left behind. No forensic traces, no infiltration detected. Perfect operational security. Strategic messaging: attacks stopped after 3 facilities. 2 depots remained intact. Message: we can destroy your ammunition stockpile whenever we want, but we're showing restraint. Western intelligence agencies drew careful conclusions. Whoever conducted the operation had detailed intelligence on facility locations and security measures, ability to infiltrate North Korea, undetected technology or methodology leaving no forensic evidence, strategic restraint to avoid total war. Speculation centered on several possibilities: covert action by U.S. intelligence, CIA or special operations units using classified technology, drones small enough to evade radar, explosives undetectable by North Korean security, agents positioned months in advance, South Korean intelligence operation, National Intelligence Service conducting long-term sabotage campaign, sleeper agents activated for coordinated strikes, cyber warfare, hackers infiltrating facility control systems, causing explosions through equipment malfunction, digital sabotage leaving no physical evidence, Israeli-style operation, Mossad-type precision sabotage, small teams, perfect intelligence, surgical strikes, no government-confirmed involvement, no agency claimed responsibility. The operations remained ghost actions, deniable, untraceable, but the effects were undeniable. Before the explosions, North Korea threatened South Korea with 260,000 tons of artillery ammunition. After the explosions, 155,000 tons remained, 40% reduction in conventional deterrent capability. War game simulations were recalculated. Previous estimates, 50,000 casualties in first 24 hours of artillery bombardment. New estimates, 28,000 casualties. Still catastrophic, but survivable. South Korean civil defense planners revised evacuation protocols. Seoul's vulnerability decreased significantly. Counter-battery radar and precision strike capabilities could now neutralize reduced artillery threat more effectively. North Korea's conventional leverage, the hostage situation holding Seoul, had been weakened, not eliminated, but degraded enough to change strategic calculations. Intelligence assessments noted Jong Un's behavior changed after the explosions, fewer provocations, reduced military exercises near DMZ, more careful statements about military capabilities. Pyongyang had learned a lesson, the lesson every nation learns when facing invisible opponents. Your defenses mean nothing if the enemy operates in dimensions you can't detect. North Korea's remaining 2 ammunition facilities received unprecedented security upgrades. But Kim knew the truth. If someone could destroy 3 facilities undetected, they could destroy the remaining 2. The question keeping North Korean military leadership awake: would there be more explosions? Or was the message delivered? 2:17 a.m. April 18th, 2024. Kangye explodes. 9:23 a.m. April 19th, 2024. Kusong explodes. 2:35 a.m. April 21st, 2024. Sakchu explodes. 72 hours. 3 facilities. 105,000 tons of ammunition. 40% of North Korea's artillery stockpile gone. Jong Un blamed hostile forces but never named them. North Korean investigators found no evidence. Security forces detected no infiltration. The facilities simply exploded, one after another, with precision timing. Today, North Korea maintains 155,000 tons of artillery ammunition at 2 remaining facilities. Still dangerous, still threatening, but no longer overwhelming. Seoul remains vulnerable, but survivably so. The strategic balance on the Korean Peninsula shifted, not through military invasion, not through diplomatic negotiation, through 3 mysterious explosions that no one can explain. This is modern warfare, not tank battles, not naval engagements, invisible operations that change strategic realities without visible actors. North Korea learned what every nation eventually learns when facing advanced intelligence capabilities. Your strongest defenses are useless against enemies you cannot see. 72 hours, 3 explosions, 40% of conventional deterrent eliminated, 0 evidence, 0 attribution, 0 accountability, but one undeniable message delivered. Your ammunition stockpiles are not safe. Your facilities are not secure. Your threats are not credible. Because somewhere, someone has the capability to destroy your strategic assets without you ever knowing how. This is Operation Phantom Thunder, the mission that never happened, the sabotage no one claimed, the 72 hours that changed the Korean Peninsula, and the greatest mystery in modern intelligence history.